What kind of behaviors have you heard about that kind of have the Bigfoot kind of harass humans? Any harassing style of behaviors you've heard of?
Well, yeah. Of course, uh, the general description of a Bigfoot encounter where the Bigfoot is actually holding its ground. See, most of the time when a person comes upon a Bigfoot, they'll typically kind of, take a look at you for a second, turn around and just casually walk away. This, I would say, is what happens in most incidents. Other times, they'll try and hide in plain sight by freezing or by going down on all fours or laying down in some way trying to look more like a tree stump or something like this. And I know that I've spoken to several witnesses who've experienced the phenomenon where they thought they were looking at a tree stump until the eyeballs appeared in the tree stump. And once the thing was realized it blew its cover, it just got up and walked away. Now, I've also heard instances where these things would put on a display, kind of like what a gorilla would do or a chimpanzee, where they'll grab a hold of a great big tree, a 40-foot tall tree, and just shake the crap out of it, showing off their strength. I heard a story from a man who was swimming in the creek, and there was some rocks that came flying through the air. This is another thing they'll do, is they'll heave rocks in your general direction. Usually they don't hit anyone. They just land nearby and let you know that you're under siege. These guys saw the rocks coming. They couldn't see the source of the rocks, so they went around the bend of the river, and they saw this 40-foot tall cottonwood tree start shaking like crazy. And one of them repositioned himself and managed to get a glimpse underneath at the base of the tree, and sure enough, there was a Bigfoot there shaking the tree. I've also heard stories, a few stories of them intimidating people in vehicles, actually, lifting the vehicle. There's one pretty scary story about a guy crossing a mountain road in the middle of the night, and one of these roads that crisscrosses around and goes around a mountain, so you can actually cut across the mountain and hit them off at the pass kind of situations. And I've heard stories of Bigfoot harassing people like that, where they'd chase their vehicle and the guy would get away, and then the next thing you know, the Bigfoot shows up again and took a shortcut and grabbed hold of his car and picked it up, and the wheels spun out. And, I've heard a few stories like that. But basically they'll throw stones or other things, shake trees, and generally let you know that they're not real pleased with you being in their area. And that's about the worst I've heard of.